this, really? Alright. I'm trying to get chat set up here. Okay, I think we're okay. I think I can see the chat. There we go. Stacking. No, okay. Alright, let's unlock this wretched thing. Sid's investigation in Turncliffe has led to startling revelations. Oh, I'm gonna love this so much, Randy. I'm going to love picking this apart. It's good to see you, Olivia. I'm pleased to report that Master Garland and the others have come to a fair bit of useful information from the Imperial City in Turncliffe. Oh, music's... okay. Is that good? Alright. Yeah, I forgot the last time I had adjusted that. Alright. Okay. I always think that Chocobo was dead, but it's breathing. It's definitely just asleep. Hi, bird. Nice bird. Bird. Okay. Look at me dilly-dally. Maybe he's only sometimes dead like me. Okay. All set for the journey ahead. Off to Turncliffe we go. Time for fun. Speak with Gaius in Turncliffe. How about I not? Imperials may be gone, the scars they had left on this once peaceful town will doubtless take many years to heal, you don't say. It seems that Cid is not in the habit of saying the same thing twice, which must be why he has been waiting for you to arrive before revealing the results of his investigation. That sounds like an excuse. Now that you're here, perhaps Cid will finally deign to dispense his findings. Severa, inform him of Olivion's arrival. Yeah, maybe Cid just doesn't want to talk to Gaius. I don't blame him. I don't want to talk to Gaius. Thanks for coming, says Cid. So what have you discovered? To tell the truth, we're lucky to obtain any information at all, considering the lengths to which the Imperials went in covering their tracks. You see, the hangar below was not just used to store the weapons, but played a critical role in their creation. We now know the code names given to 3 of the weapons: Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then Bastardo, yeah. Obviously, we are all familiar with the first 2, but the third is something of an unknown quantity. At the very least, this confirms the existence of another of those abominations. At the very least... The problem lies in ascertaining its whereabouts. None of the locals have seen anything resembling a weapon be transported either by land or air. Which of course leaves only one option: the sea. According to what fragments of data we were able to recover, the emerald weapon is equipped with aquatic capabilities, much like the satellite. It's fish! Fish friend! It's a Namazu. It's just a Namazu primal. We're just gonna ditch all this, leave Gaius behind, and go fight a Namazu primal. Meaning that its escape from Turncliffe would have gone undetected, and could potentially be anywhere by now. But if Alphonse plans to have it absorb more primals, the logical choice would be Eorzea. Dun dun dun. And traveling by sea would allow him to circumvent the front line at Gimlet entirely. The Alliance must be alerted at once. Hold your chocobos, Severa. It seems that the emerald weapon was still incomplete when the 7th Legion withdrew from Turncliffe. I can't read wrong. It's far more likely that it was transported to another facility in order to add the finishing touches. If your supposition is correct, that would narrow our search to but 2 possible locations: Castrum Marinum and Rotanto Sea in the Rotanto Sea, and Castrum Occidens in eastern Monasco. I happen to know that it's Castrum Marinum, so... both of which are known to harbor remnants of the 14th Legion. Your formal subordinates, guys! Finally! We're remembering that! Be that as may, our objective is unchanged. Veldelin, you and Severa will make your way to Castrum Occidens, while Livion and I head from Castrum Marinum. I like how he just, like, doesn't acknowledge his part in the entire storyline up to this point. Oh. Should we locate the emerald weapon, we will give the signal to dispatch the G-Warrior and eliminate it before it can be activated. Sorry to disappoint you, but we're still repairing the damage it sustained during the encounter with the Sapphire weapon. While elegant machinery has its uses, it's a bugger to find replacement parts in a pinch. So that's why we're not doing the entire trial in the stupid mech. Oh, you didn't miss much for Halo, I just started. We've actually been working to expand its already impressive arsenal, but the G-Warrior itself is no fit state for combat. While I'm aware this is far from adequate replacement, I can provide an Ironworks submersible to help Olivia and Gaius reach Castrum Marinum. I'll also have one sent ahead to Vesper Bay. Why don't you just use the teleport? I mean, I can fly there now, too. A submersible, eh? I don't much like the sound of that. Perhaps Severa and I should count ourselves fortunate that our destination can be approached by land. I pray you have a safe journey. Watch yourself out there, Olivia. I sure will need you. I'm going to Gaius. Yeah? It's cat time. It's time we departed. Let's make our way to Vesper Bay. He's better than Gaius. The box is empty. Oh, the pilot's... No, it's not a pilot, it's a puggy. I thought the pilot was the bunny. As per Master Garland's instructions, the submersible is ready when you are. Before you depart, I've received some scraps of intelligence regarding your opponent from my colleagues in Turncliffe. Apparently, it uses some sort of levitating hand-like appendages, 6 of them in fact, and though we're not quite sure what purpose they serve, it sounds like having eyes in the back of your head might come in handy. But that's all we know, I'm afraid. You have our thanks. After all, forewarned is forearmed. Forearmed. Its hands. If the emerald weapon has indeed been transported to this castrum, it would need to enter via the dry dock. We shall do likewise. As one might expect, there are measures in place to keep out intruders. The security systems can be tricked into recognizing us as an Imperial vessel. Yeah, tricked, you're Gaius. That said, infiltrating the facility is merely the first step. Should the emerald weapon be activated, it's only a matter of time before the pilot uses Oversoul. We must silence the war machina before this happens, and failing that, grant the poor soul at its helm the mercy of a swift death. Had these wounds healed more quickly, I could have gone with you, but I fear I would only slow you down. As such, I shall provide what support I can from afar. Whatever happens, the emerald weapon must be defeated at all costs. That's nice, Gaius. Oh wow, it unlocks chat at the same. Okay. In we go. Yeah, that bit in AR, Livia she punted that sylph. She just flung it across the room. Like, dude. Yeah. Waiting to kill. He raised that. Yeah. 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 Come here. Do you want to be on the stream, Baldur? Baby cat. Baby cat. Something good. No? Okay. He doesn't want to be on the stream. No. Though I would prefer that we avoid engaging my former wards in combat, we cannot allow my sentiments to prevent us from doing what must be done. It sounds so hollow coming from Gaius. Alright, here we go. Contributing to the discourse, right, Baldur? I'm gonna heal a red blind so it's not pull my arm. Come on, puggies! Usually what I do is I unlock things first on Ostercat and go in and heal blind, and then I tank the second time around on Olivia, but I'm mixing things up. Baby boy. Baby boy. Yay, summers. This is it, the emerald weapon. It looks like crap. Dun, dun, dun. Look, Father, this is the power that we command. This is showing off the guys. Yeah, he really is. Oh, the Ruby fight was a lot of fun, so let's see how this goes. Bug brain. Bye, Puggy. Feeling really small compared to the boss itself. It's just got these giant floaty disembodied hands. Balls. Oh heck. No, Puggies. The balls exploded. Hard res time! Oh, whoa! No. Did they all get... What did they do? has a back wheel. Yeah, that one mechanic is just good. It's probably stupid. And we're out of precipice. It's good. That's a good shot. Yeah, now I've got a little break 3 up. When I was doing Eden's, I was feeling like I got to do little break twice. I think these guys will actually outlast them. You think that monk can do it? Go, monk. So they matched in the safe spot. Is it unmatched in the safe spot? Yeah, they're gonna do it. We're down to just that tank. Just one tank, one gunfighter. This is gonna be like Ruby and has a big phase change. Don't hit the button, dumbass! Turning the Gaius? I think it's turning the Gaius. It spray paints itself gold! Just like Gaius himself in Victoria! It's gold spray paint! I love it! I love it! Wallet. Alright, now for real. Look, and it's got guys his little what's it called? Airspan, little gunbreakers. Oh, goodness. Not close. It's oh my gosh! It's doing all the gunbreaker Gaius attack. Look at that. This is actually pretty cool. I like the and so's the other healer. Turncliffe just reminds me of Santa Barbara. The scrubby oaks, and those hills. Terminus X. This was supposed to be an Austria yells about bad riding stream, not an Austria yells about mechanics. If these guys down this without healers again. At least this is making sure that Werlyt can't actually forget Praetorian. At least. Hectic, but I think they're actually best. This guy is full of We're seeing some new mechanics. Ooh, Dragoon, do I believe in you, Dragoon? Okay, so the trick with those is just gonna be placing those. Oh yeah, it's almost. the same mechanic in Extreme to make them hard. Both healers. What? What is it with Bard limit breaks? What is it? Oh well. I guess Bard limit breaks is the melee is blocked. It's a neat fight. I can't wait to see Extreme. Alright. As soon as the cutscene pauses, it's a cat food break. I know, baby. Watch what the cutscene does. Oh, no cutscene. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I guess the good news is that you can unlock the thing really quickly before you have to spend too much time talking to guys. Saggy octopus baby mecha, yeah. The saggy octopus, the way it just jumps. Okay. It's actually kind of nifty. Gosh, I've seen screenshots of the mount from Extreme. I want it. And so it ends, says guys. Hey guys, you want to talk about that cold spray? Why would Rex throw his life away for this? It's your fault, guys. You are right. If I am ever to learn the truth, I must concentrate on the task at hand. That's not what I said. I said it's your fault, guys. Gosh. Of course, we do not need to wait for Sid's analysis to tell us whose combat data was used on this occasion. It galls me to think that my techniques and strategies could be so closely replicated. I almost thought for a second that he was going to say it galls him to think that his techniques and strategies would be used for evil. But no. Nevertheless, the observations I made during the battle may yet prove useful. As a matter of fact, that was not the only information I was able to gather. I intercepted a signal that revealed troops stationed here were permitted to withdraw, seemingly in return for assisting the 7th Legion. They must have known that the Alliance would follow the Emerald Weapon here sooner or later and make good their escape. Meaning the way is now clear for Sid to inspect the more mechanized remains. Almost thought for just a second that he was going to acknowledge that some of this is his fault, but nope. We got here as soon as we could. Not that we could have done anything to prevent this tragedy. They tried. From what we know, it seems that the Emerald Weapon was ilm for ilm a great deal more powerful than the previous two. If this is allowed to continue, who knows what sort of monstrosity the 7th Legion will conceive next. Nevertheless, Olivion has once again proven himself capable of overcoming the worst the Empire has at its disposal. Yeah, 20 years experience, guys! You may be relieved to hear that Castor Mossadens was free of anything resembling a weapon. Unfortunately, it was also devoid of any useful leads, and we came away empty-handed. Yeah, sucks to be an NPC, bro. In all honesty, part of me wishes that we had never found the Emerald Weapon. Perhaps then Rex would not have been forced to make the ultimate sacrifice. I only hope that he is finally at peace. We will do what we can to spare others from sharing his fate. I and the Ironworks will search this place from top to bottom for clues as to the 7th Legion's and Legion's plans. Sid the squid Carl. Before that, allow me to sweep the area for booby traps and the like. I would not put it past the Imperials to have left a few surprises for us. Agreed, I will go with you. With that in mind, I'll begin my examination of the Emerald Weapon. Carefully, that is. No, we don't want Nero anywhere near this bad writing. It already wrecked Sid and Ravan. We don't need to cheat on Sid as well. Oh, flashback time. Olivion's having a headache. Alfonso, you knew all this time, didn't you? Melisande and Recon too. Everyone except me. I like the little zippers on their cloaks. Completely pointless. And you, Rex? Yes, that's what the synthetic Arsite system is. The fusion between pilot and core is the key to Oversoul. And unless we use it, we don't have a chance of beating Father's newfound friends. They stand between us and the primals, without which the weapons will never reach their full potential. We thought that if you knew the truth about Oversoul, you'd try to stop us. Wow, they thought maybe she had a brain. Of course I would. But what I don't understand is why all of you are so willing to give your lives for the weapon project. What is it all for? God, this kid has a brain. Finally, someone in this thing who's got a brain. It all began the day Father left. Without his guidance, his protection, the Garleans lost any respect they once had for us. Yeah, it was none, bro. But if their cruelty pales in comparison to Valens, to him, conscripts like us are expendable commodities, an endless supply of test subjects for his twisted experiments. You know, I think I've said the same about guys before. But no matter what they do to us, we will never lose hope. If it is the duty of the strong to lead the weak, we will become strong and protect those who cannot protect themselves. That sounds very helpful. The weapon project will give us the strength we need. It will create a world where people like us can live without fear of persecution. Yeah, they're exactly like, what's her face? Ala Mhigan chick. Why am I blanking on her name? The Ala Mhigan girl who I really like. I completely blanked on her name. I forgot Orphan Time, yeah. Fordola, yes, Fordola, thank you. I am stupid. We want you to see this new world for yourself, Allie, even if we must give our lives to make it a reality. But why me? Because you are small and cute. The years spent serving the Empire have changed us all, except you, Allie. Even after everything you've seen, you're still the caring, innocent girl we grew up with. More than any of us, you deserve a chance at happiness. That's what we all agree. It is because she's small and cute. Allie, listen to me. Right now, the soldiers assigned to watch over us have been called away to the capital. Now's our chance to get you out of here. Why don't you all come with me? Good question, kid. If Alfonsi and I were to run away now, they'd only force others to take our place. We can't let that happen. This is our way of upholding the ideals Father instilled in us. Our lives are a small price to pay for Werlyt's freedom. Olivion's gonna have some words about this. No, how can you expect me to leave you behind? I won't do it. It's playing the aardvark music. It's doing this to hurt me on purpose. Gosh, the size difference between girl and boy lizards is just, gosh, silly. We will forever be at your side, Allie. Rex, take her to the holding cells. That sounds like... That doesn't sound reasonable. No, let me go! Tiny lizard! So win or lose, the plan is to hand over the castrum to Father. Is that right? Yes, they'll take Allie into their custody before the Garleans return, while you will be free to pilot the emerald weapon without her interfering. We can't let her hinder the completion of the weapon project. These kids are just out of their minds. They don't know what they're doing. I'm counting on you, Alphonse. Don't let our sacrifices be in vain. They're stupid kids, and they're just running around dying to impress Gaius. That's really, literally what they're doing. Rex, have you forgotten what I told you? You mustn't use Oversoul. I can't lose you, too. We both know I can't win without it. Besides, we need the combat data of the emerald weapon fighting at its peak if we are to have any chance of perfecting the synthetic RF system. You know I'm not the sort to do things by halves. Forgive me, Rex. Don't you worry about me. If this is where I meet my end, I'll do it with a smile on my face. The rest is up to you, Alphonse. But yeah, it was a crazy smile, though. Someone just needs to stop these kids. Okay, we saved the tiny little guy, I guess. She needs pants. This is the girl you spoke of, yes? She was locked in a cell, but I saw no harm in letting her out. I can't say for certain, but it seems she's been through quite an ordeal. Gosh, this poor kid. Aww. Why, Rex? Why? Gaius, once you've extracted the core, we'll take it back to Turncliffe for analysis. I only went back to Turncliffe. Perhaps she should come with us. There's no use in her staying here. The camera just pans around him. Oh, this poor kid. If we ran out of boy lizards, though, then she would have to be the next one to fight, so... Good thing we saved her, I guess. It's still playing the aardvark music, you guys! Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. He needs it back. Alright. Severa has taken care of Abby, but it may be some time until her nerves have settled. The vision you witnessed is indeed true. Alphonse and Rex locked her away for her own safety. Why are we implying that I told Gaius about my acrovision? That's another thing, at least in this installment so far. As it keeps, twice now, it has just basically informed me what my character has said, and it hasn't been vague and open like it usually is. It's a little railroading. When she's ready, I would know more of what her brother hopes to achieve and why he must resort to such desperate measures. Ali's condition has improved somewhat, but she remains in a state of shock. We must give her more time to recover. There was one other thing that I thought you should know. When we checked her for injuries, we saw that her back is covered with welts and bruises. Aww. Who did this to her? That was Milk Sweat Boy, wasn't it? It seems she was subjected to beatings on a regular basis, judging by the varied stages of bruising. I dare say this is the work of her Garlean masters, one of whom you are speaking to at this moment. You speak as though you've seen this before. Golly, I'm joking. Seen? I've lived through it myself. What's she doing trucking around with Gaius? Milkman. I was born in Werlyt 23 summers past. Oh, we get Baxter on here too. My mother was a local woman. My father was a pure-blooded Garlean and a member of the occupied forces. Well, so she's only half Garlean. But she's still got the bonus eye. I thought we'd established that there was only the pure-blooded ones that had bonus eyes. Or does she have a bonus eye? Her bonus eye just keeps coming and going. That's a Highlander lady. Though I know very little about him, his rank afforded me imperial citizenship. His acknowledgement of our familial ties was the extent of the responsibility he took for bringing me into this world. Still, it's more than can be said for most of his ilk. My mother and I were shunned by the people of Werlyt, who treated us as badly as the Garleans did, if not worse. I thought that if I were to become an imperial soldier, my position might somewhat deter those who cast scorn on my mother, if only out of fear, so I joined the army. The acceptance I earned was but temporary, however, and my superiors were quick to blame any perceived shortcoming on my savage lineage. Rather than waste time on official court-martials, they administered their own form of corporal punishment. Waste time. Oh, look, it's out. I was eventually assigned to the 12th Legion and fought under Xenos Galvas at Ala Mhigan. In the chaos that followed our defeat, I seized the opportunity to flee to Werlyt. Quite possible that her and Oliviana ran into each other. While it was never much of a home, it was all I had, but nothing could prepare me for what awaited. My mother had for many years suffered from poor health and relied on medicine to keep her alive. In my absence, the Garleans had denied her treatment, claiming that it would be wasted on savages. By the time I could return to her side, there was naught else I could do. There was nothing left for me in Werlyt. I would be punished for desertion if the Imperials discovered the reason for my return, and I was never accepted by my so-called countrymen to begin. Poor kid. I ran as far as my legs could carry me. It was then that I met Gaius! And he instilled her with hope for some cockamamie reason. So that is the truth of it. Other than a few scant details, I knew not of your past. It sickens me to think that I once fought under the same banner as such vile creatures. Still no acknowledgement. I had always believed it to be the duty of the strong to lead the weak, yet there are those who become drunk on the power afforded by their station and prey on the ones they should protect. He's speaking from experience, you guys. He's speaking from experience. Like a canker, this corruption has spread to every part of the Empire. Even those with Garlean blood, such as myself, are subjected to their cruelty. They hold particular contempt for the Al Ra, an easy target for abuse being so few in number. Perhaps, like me, Ali thought that she would be spared such treatment when she joined the army. Alas! ... I only hope that with time, Allie can put the past behind her and make a new life for herself. But for now, all we can do is wait for her delirium to subside. It is Valdeline's turn to keep watch. Let us ask if there has been any change. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. It's weird French names. Yeah, she's got the same backstory as Orenvald, basically, just ended up on the other side. The thing is, this would work if it was anyone but guys. It was some rando Garlean who we hadn't seen, who hadn't spent the entire vanilla game as the major villain. It was just some rando Garlean. This would work. But because it's Gaius that ruined it. I still got those ass-kicking masks. Valdolin? His name is Valdolin, isn't it? I don't know how to say his name. I wish this was voiced so I could guess how to say his name. They've overcome the Emerald Weapon is hardly cause for celebration. Another young life cut short. Not my fault! Rex's death is on my hands, not yours. Would that this confrontation had been averted, but alas, it was not to be. That is the closest he's gotten to taking any responsibility for any of it. He's acting. Yes, good, finally. A glimmer of hope. Finally. He does have Fandaniel's mask, doesn't he? Let me... Get off my screen, bro. Like, I don't speak Garlean, but one of these is his, right? Is it the... He's got two distinct ones in the... What's his name? That one? That's Fandaniel's? Okay, let's see this guy. I suppose you're here to ask about Allie. You bet I am. Farm Daniel, yeah. Is she well enough to speak with us? As her condition has improved somewhat, I would say so, provided you do not cause her any undue distress. Wait here. Poor kid. Vanny, I was so not. This is cool. Ellie, I am sorry. What happened to Rex? It was my fault. He's taking a little bit of credit. He's acknowledging this. Finally, I've waited this whole time for this to happen. Watch it be hand waved off. Melisandre and Recon too. They died because of me and my foolish ambitions. Finally! Finally! An actual text too, not just a little side text. Father, no. Is she gonna say it's not his fault? This cannot go on. Please, Allie, you must tell me all you know. Of course. First, I need to know what became of you and your siblings after we were parted. So much has happened, it seems like a lifetime ago. After your disappearance, we were all assigned to the newly reformed 7th Legion. At first, each Legatus was quickly replaced by the next, until eventually a man named Valens van Varro was given command. Valens van Varro! That is a very silly name. This legion is all Aura and Highlander. He was sent from the capital, but before that, he was a specialist in experimental magitech weaponry. We later discovered that he was ordered by Emperor Varus to complete a project involving anti-primal war machina, the weapons. But after the Emperor's death, he was free to employ whatever methods he saw fit, and his greed for power only grew. Some say he's even planning to use the power of the weapons to lay claim to the throne. I wouldn't be surprised if he could make anti-Xenos weapons. But I think there's another reason for his obsession with the weapon project. Not that he'd ever tell anyone, but he's always muttering to himself, and I've been able to put the pieces together. This guy's insane. He's jealous of you, Father. Valens von Varro. I must admit, it was only recently that I first heard that name. Valens used his knowledge of Magitech to devise various military strategies. He was given a position in the army and quickly rose through the ranks. That was until one man stood in his way. You, Father. He was one of the candidates to lead the new 14th Legion, but that role fell to you. After that, he was assigned to serve under a far more gifted engineer, Nero, who was in charge of restoring the ultimate weapon. No, we don't want Nero in this quest line. We want him to stay, just one character, to stay safe out of this. Is it saying that Nero was a better engineer than Gaius or than Valens? Because it would make sense. Anyway, none of this makes sense. Valens has resented you ever since, going so far as to oppose the ideals you upheld. Where you treated those who serve the Empire based on merit rather than on their race or origin, Valens is adamant that pure-blooded Garleans are superior to all others. Okay, that's actually a fair characterization of Gaius. He promoted Werlyt and stuff. And, It never ceases to amaze me how far some will go in the name of revenge. All that hatred festering away, nothing good could ever come of it. Isn't that the monk quest? So the marks on your body are his handiwork. Don't make her talk about it out in public, guys. Yes, to Valens and his men we are no more than fodder for his experiments, playthings on which they can vent their frustrations. Every day is filled with nothing but pain. If I had remained in Garlemald, you would never have been forced to endure this abuse. Nah, just different abuse. It's not your fault, Father. We could have fled from Valens if we'd wanted to. After all, we're expendable and easily replaced. The truth is, that's exactly why we couldn't run. In saving ourselves, we would be condemning others, but if we were to stay to see the weapon project to completion, we would gain the power to defeat Valens and then the Empire itself, freeing the world from its tyranny. That way, we might start afresh and find a place where we can call home, and not just for us, but for anyone who wishes to live in peace. You will give your lives for a future you may not live to see? It's the entire game's theme, you guys. I mean, from ARR on. That's why we were fighting Gaius, too. Ah. Even me, of course, we're reading these lines. Rahela, I am reading these lines! We took courage from your teachings, Father. The strong must lead the weak, and we would gain that strength by whatever means necessary. We will fight for the sake of those who cannot. But we knew that you'd never consent to our participation in the weapon project, which is why we couldn't turn to you for help. See, these kids, like, they've got these ideals, but they're a little cracked. They've got the right idea, they're just not able to get there. Probably too much Gaius in their head. As the pilots, we're the only ones who are able to stop Valens. We know just how powerful the weapons are. He would use them to bring the world to its knees. It feels like they are honestly trying to be the change from the inside, trying to fix. They recognize a problem, and they see a way to fix it, and they're trying for it. But they're also, at the same time, I don't think they realize how following Gaius is maybe not the best idea. And his masterpiece is the worst of them all. If only I could get my hands on it, then I could save Alphonse and all of Werlyt. She's, like, really cute. I feel so bad for her. Father, I know you and Alphonse stand on opposing sides of this conflict, but there must be some way you can help him. He may have called you our enemy before, but he never meant it. He still loves you, Father. You're everything he aspires to be. I have failed him, failed you all. But I refuse to abandon him to his fate. I will free him from Valens if it is the last thing I do. Thank you. He needs you now, more than ever. Listen, Ali. I once sought the strength to rebuild the world as I saw fit. For the ultimate weapon was born not to create, but to destroy. Alphonse must not follow in my footsteps. I know all too well where they lead. I will do all I can to help your brother. Pray and tell me where he is. This is actually a lot better than this has been to this point, at least so far, because he's acknowledging that he has made mistakes and that he should try to inspire other people to do better. And it's too little too late to save the Ark, and I fully expect this to go downhill again. But this is a huge improvement over the ultimate weapon, which was dug up under this very city, he says, in a room with Raubon right there, next to the Ala Mhigan flag. It's like, who did the digging, guys? I will do all I can to help your brother. Pray tell me where he is. He is... I'm sorry, I don't know where he could be. In that case, I shall have the Alliance dispatch scouts. He can have the Alliance, he has that authority. Yeah, Gaius can tell the Alliance's scouts where to go. Anyway. Wherever he is, we will find him. As for you, Ali, you must stay here and rest. Wait, you're the one who fought Rex, Recon, and Melisande, aren't you? Sorry. We're the ones who threatened your homeland. You only did what you had to do. Okay, that hits like twice as hard on an Ala Mhigan instead of just a regular Eorzean. I have no right to ask of this of you, but... Lend my father your strength. Save Alphonse. I will do one of these things, but not the other. I know now why they call you hero. Alphonse, I'll do what I must to free you, even if it means going against Father's wishes. But I have a good feeling about this new friend. Olivia could just run off and save the lizards and ignore Gaius. Severa, see that she has everything she needs. Our allies must be informed of these troubling events. I ask you to relay this news to the troops in Girovania. Oh yeah, Gaius is told an Ala Mhigan could go tell the Ala Mhigans. Oh gosh. Your loving father act may fool the others, Gaius, but not me. For every life you've saved, you've ended 1,000 more. Or is this your idea of redemption? Finally, I like this elf. I like him. Call it what you will. For all my transgressions, I believe I still have a part to play. See, if this whole arc had opened with this sort of thing instead of saving it for the 3rd installment, it wouldn't suck nearly as much. Was I wrong to spare you that day, or will you honor your word? It seems the time has come for the Black Wolf to show his true colors. You were wrong to spare him that day. You deserve a bit of revenge. Feature resistant officer report of Pretoria. Actually, I wonder if these guys have dialogue. Leave Ali to me. Having cared for my mother for so long before being transferred away, I'd like to think I've developed a suitable bedside manner. Hello, Matty friend. Scarlian bastards are finally gone. It's all thanks to you. Oh yeah, they had an epidemic. Yes, it's all the same dialogue. I guess I'll check these next. While I'm painfully aware of the cruelty the Empire shows its enemies, even I am appalled to hear how it treats its own. Werlyt and other feats on the very lives of their pilots, I can scarcely imagine anything more heinous. The majority of the 567th Legion are sure to be stationed in the city of Werlyt, the heart of this occupied territory. Whether Alphonse is there with them remains to be seen. According to Ali, another weapon lies in wait, but where we do not know. It stands to reason, however, that if we were to find it, Alphonse would surely not be far away. Do these guys... Yeah, he points back. Yeah, but the doctor dude specifically states that, the Garleans bossed around how to deal with the epidemic, so it's still the Garleans' fault, even though it's an epidemic. Yeah, it's just unfortuitous timing of that one. I love the lots you got. Is it over? Is this the end? It's gonna be a huge cutscene when I try to. You recently received word of your victory over the Emerald Weapon. I expect it was another fine display on your part, not that any of us were there to see it. For that reason, we'd be grateful if you'd give us a blow-by-blow account, if you wouldn't mind. And then I fell off the edge, and then I stood in the stupid, and then the co-healer stood in the stupid, and then we wiped, and then we wiped. Yeah. Actually, we didn't wipe, except that once. For that reason, oh yeah, I already read that. Good grief, it sounds like you had an awful lot to contend with. Rather you than me. I shall add this to our ever-growing stack of reports should anyone wish to review this information ahead of the next sortie. Content warning? Content warning for what? That's an American. Now, if I may say so, it looks like your ordeals have taken their toll. We'll let you know if anything requires your attention, but until then, be sure to get some rest. Alright, let's see this legit content warning. If it's gonna be Milk Sweat perving on that lizard again. Meanwhile, in the 7th Legion's correction chamber, oh gosh. Cult-like behavior and body horror. Oh, body horror, that's my favorite. Okay. 3 weapons, 3 pitiful displays of ineptitude. Oh gosh. Is this gonna be a case of, oh gosh, they actually went there? Yeah. To make matters worse, one of my prime candidates, your precious sister, no less, has escaped. Oh gosh, he's making kids do it! What a jerk! And who should she go crawling to but that swine Gaius, after everything I've done for her, and now... Oh wait, he almost said to her, but for her. Okay, yeah, that's an old joke. But this is how she repays me? As her older brother, it's your responsibility to instill some discipline in her, and you've failed miserably. Gosh. Well, don't just stand there, boy. It's over, yeah, way over top. Oh, of course, it's your first time, isn't it? Come along, there's no need to be shy. He makes little kids do his torturing for him. just an Ellison face with a bonus eye on it. I don't think that's a custom face. This is ridiculous. You see, something wicked has taken hold of this young man, and it's our job to cleanse his troubled spirit. It may look painful, but it's the only way, I assure you. He'll be ever so grateful, and you want him to get better, don't you? There's a good boy. Now let's try again, shall we? Burn out the bad, burn out the bad. Oh my gosh! I can't take this seriously. This is so ridiculous. Oh golly. Yeah, exactly, silly. How the hell am I supposed to take this seriously? Gosh. So I guess this is why we think Gaius is an okay person, because he's not this bad. As far as we know. On screen. Well done, you've all made Father proud. Very proud indeed. As for you, I thought you were cut above the rest of the savages, but it appears I was mistaken. And since you allow that wretched sister of yours to escape, it falls to you to act as her replacement. I choose you as the next pilot, and your mission is simple. Kill Gaius Van Baelsar, whatever it takes. And if you so much as entertain the idea of betraying me again, I'll exterminate every last one of your kind. Gosh. Like the vermin you are! I think the Hildebrand team animated that face. Also, the little tail is sticking straight up. I can't take this seriously, it just doesn't work. Having said that, we will be forcibly initiating Oversoul using Xenos' combat data, so whatever schemes you may be hatching will never come to pass. All you need to do is sit back and let the synthetic RSI system do the work, with you as its conduit. You should thank me for allowing you to become part of my masterpiece. Your worthless existence will finally have some semblance of meaning. Hee 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 hee. Lord Valen's preparations for the Oversoul trial are complete. We await your orders. Splendid. There's never a dull moment around here. Now then, boys, who'd like to see something special? Come along, everyone. Father has secrets to share with you. That's just creepy, guys. Yeah, we're gonna kill him. He's gonna die. He'll be the last boss fight. Maybe he'll do the Oversoul thing to himself. Seems too creepy for that, though. Oh well. And yes, Vanny, he did call the Outrot vermin. I'm surprised they don't consider them beast tribes, but... Dun dun dun. Is that it? Is it over? Am I free? No. This is my chance, and it's all thanks to the sacrifices made by my dear siblings. Finally, the weapon will be mine to command. He just said they were gonna hit the Oversoul button, like, off the bat. Once it's reached perfection, I will be unstoppable. First Valens and the Empire itself will fall, and we will be free at last. Father, keep Ali safe. Melisandre, Recon, Rex. I'll see this through to the end, I promise. He's lying on his back so they don't have to actually make a model for it. Until then, watch over me. Gosh, I don't want this guy on my screen still! I want to see the Xenos weapon, though. I feel like if the Xenos weapon was going to be the next extreme, they wouldn't have mentioned it that soon. Oh gosh. Human sacrifice time! So, is it ready or not? The trial sequence has been primed, sir. Then get on with it. Initiating synthetic RSite system, loading diamond weapon simulation. What's going on? You're helping us with a little research is all. Ah, whatever your name is. The time has come for you to contribute to the glory of Garlemald. This isn't what we agreed. You said that if I took part in the experiment, you'd let my family go. Gosh. You have Xenos' data loaded, yes? Activate Oversoul and be quick about it. Understood, Lord Valens. Galvus combat sample ready. Initiating organic core override. My mind is no. If this is what it takes to protect you both, I love you. I'm so sorry. Gosh. Werlyt Planet says, "Where is my prey?" Organic core override complete. Xenosgate Galvus data loader. His clipboard has spikes! It's spikes on his clipboard. The subject is instinctively bound to seek out prey right from the outset, regardless of the combat prowess it may boast. I need an obedient servant, not a ravenous beast. Then why did you load Xenos data? Enough, shut it down. Deactivating synthetic RSite system. As a corpse. Howdy, Volty, what a mess it makes of the cockpit. Adjust the settings and prepare another run. Fortunately, we have the next test subject ready and waiting. Gosh. But sir, you agreed to release his family in exchange for his cooperation. Ha 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 ha! He looks like that character from Shrek. The chess man dude prince thing. I saw Shrek like once. My, I never knew you had such a wonderful sense of humor. The great Valens Van Vero bargaining with savages. Ha, more fool of him for trusting me in the first place. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I have no idea what the character's name is, but yeah. Still no information on the location of the weapon or that Alphonse character, I'm afraid. We'll let you know if we turn anything up. The Resistance troops wish to help their newfound allies in Turkey. We're not done! Olivia and I was hoping I might have a word with you. Ever since Turncliffe was liberated, we've been sending troops to aid in getting the town back on its feet, helping the residents, that sort of thing. We Ala Mhigans know how hard life can be for a society struggling to stand on its own after years of imperial rule. A lot of what most people would take for granted has to be rebuilt from the ground up. While we're able to assist when it comes to providing basic resources and keeping the place safe, there are countless other problems that need tending to. If you can spare the time, we could use your help. Bless you, Olivia, you really are a saint. I'm sure the people of Turncliffe will benefit from having someone like you around. Once you're ready, have a word with your usual escort. I wish you all the best. Oh, this is the... This is the Savage or Extreme unlock here. This thing weighs a ton. Perhaps they should have used lighter material. This fanboy. How does he make the hands float in the model? So what do you think? Is it every bit as terrifying as the foe you faced? Behold the malevolent Malachite Marauder, the vicious Viridian Villain, the Jumentus Jade Giant. Actually, perhaps not that last one. Anyway, it's the Emerald Weapon! I assure you I spared no expense in making it as true to life, so to speak, as possible. Magnets. Yes, definitely magnets. The information we received regarding its design revealed several startling details. Perhaps most surprising of all were the free-floating manipulators, or hands if you prefer, which allowed it to attack from multiple angles simultaneously. Crabby hands. We even learned that their positioning was based on tactics used by Gaius himself when he led the Imperial invasion of Werlyt. Oh, Gaius led the invasion of Werlyt! Did we know that before? Gosh. This is dark there. By surrounding the target, we are able to bombard it from all sides while keeping it pinned down. Not only that, but the Emerald Weapon was able to perfectly replicate Gaius' renowned Terminus S gunblade technique, though on a much larger scale. I wish I could have been there to see it for myself. Oh, you're so lucky. Ha, goodness me, all this talking has made me rather parched. Mood. Before I pour myself a nice glass of local arak, I think it's time for us to fire up the real virtuality combat simulation experience-inator and see what wonders it can conjure. Anything could happen, so don't say I didn't warn you. Yay, unlocked extreme. Alright. Back to Turncliffe. I thought that would be the end. Like, you turn in the quest and then it does the meanwhile in Spaceball City thing, that's what he calls it. Nope. So the boss roped you into helping, did he? I knew you couldn't say no. As an Ala Mhigan, to an Ala Mhigan. Ah! Sorry, I just poured water on my desk. I will be right back. thought the last of the water in the pitcher would fit in the glass. It did not. My teacher's a constant warning, sorry. Okay, let's see what shenanigan we're up to now. Majority of the 7th Legion are sure to be stationed in the city of Werlyt. Yeah, that's the same. Despondent Citizen. Hello, Despondent Citizen. Oh, she's another little Aura. I like Aura girls, they're so cute. You're the one who piloted that war machina and defeated the Sapphire weapon, aren't you? I thought so. I've heard much about you, but I doubt you know who I am. My name is Avelina? Oh my gosh, this is gonna get confusing. Avelina, and I grew up here. I stayed throughout the occupation and was put to work as a Magitech engineer. Avelina is almost definitely something that Olivion has, well, me as a player playing Olivion have been called at some point in the last, what, 15 years of playing characters of that name. The best one was when a Puggy in Lotro called me Ala. I have no idea where he got it. Thanks to you and yours, we are now rid of the Imperials, though I fear many of us will struggle to put the past behind us. For 10 long years we suffered at their hands. A whole generation of young people were forced into the army and sent off to die in some distant land. Was it Ala Mhigan? Yeah. Land and Boja, and yeah, half the world. I suppose it could be considered one of the lucky few. My work here kept me away from the battlefield, and I hope that my contributions might help the others live long enough to make their way home. In the end, most of them never return. Though my efforts were in vain, I can at least honor their memory. I want to leave something behind for their sake, to prove that they've been forgotten, that they haven't been forgotten. A monument bearing their names. Sorry, I can't read today. To ensure that not a single person is omitted, I need to see the official list of conscripts. If one still exists, it would be inside the Imperial facility beneath the town. But with the Resistance troops and Ironworks engineers closing the place off, I can't get near it. Perhaps you might have a word with them for me? I'll leave as soon as I find the list. This sounds like exactly the kind of thing Olivion is happy to help with, though. Thank you, I'll follow your lead. I'll let you do the talking, if that's alright. Something I can help you with? I see, it's a bit unusual for one of the locals to show an interest in the Imperial's leaving, but it seems she has her reasons. Since we're still carrying out our investigations, we've closed the place off to prevent anyone interfering. Considering it's you who's asking, though, I can hardly say no. Still, I'd better go with her in case the others kick up a fuss. You're very kind. I'm sorry for any trouble I've caused. You have my thanks. Think nothing of it. I was glad to help. Sorry, itchy for some As I suspected, the Imperials kept detailed records of the local conscripts. One name in particular stood out to me. My friend, Melisandre. I had no idea she'd been assigned to the 7th Legion, of all places. What do you mean, of all places? Or how did you know her? How did you know her? It all began while we were serving together in the 14th Legion. We had much in common, both being drafted from the same occupied territory, and we soon became firm friends. Then one day she was sent to fight in Eorzea, while I remained here. The day before she left, she came to say goodbye, together with her foster siblings from the orphanage. The youngest one, Recon, was particularly upset about not being allowed to speak with their adopted father, Gaius van Baelsar, before they departed. It was actually another of his orphans, Livius Junius, who forbid them from seeing him. I can't say for certain, but it seemed that Livia had a strong attachment to Gaius, and wouldn't let anyone else near him. God. What was it, that terrible, terrible thing in the way that it phrased Lamet's crush on Ardbert in the loins comment? Yeah, that's her with Gaius. Lamet has better taste. Even if Midlanders are dull as possible. Anyway. At least they're not trying to kill you. Anyway, as far as I could tell, he tried his best to keep Livia at arm's length whenever possible, but her devotion to him was bordering on obsession, and she became extremely jealous of the slightest sign of affection between him and the other boy. Did they seriously just try to make that one-sided? Because, okay, in ARR, there's that one rather infamous bit where he's like, my office 1 hour. And it's like maybe Gaius isn't quite as kooky about it as Livia was, but there is absolutely no grounding for this in ARR that Gaius tried to keep her at arm's length. He did the opposite, in fact. Anyway. You can't retcon it. I played ARR, unlike whoever wrote this. Others, however, treated them far more kindly. In fact, a Prefectus Castorum of the 14th Legion came specifically to meet them. Is that Ridderton? I don't think I've ever seen him without his hat. While I was surprised that a Rogadin had risen to such rank, I was even more taken aback by the unguarded manner in which he spoke with his subordinates. I'd hoped that with people like him serving on the Eorzean front, they would be in safe hands. Then the time came for Melisandre to leave. We shared a few final words, and then she was gone. It would be the last I ever saw of her. After that, I was assigned to the Tribunus Laticlavicus of the 14th, near Otulskeva, and I worked on restoring the ultimate weapon. I was even at the Praetorium on the day it was destroyed, but I escaped aboard the Imperial ship moments before it came crashing down. You know, okay, not as big as some of the other continuity errors, but Al Ra were introduced with Heavensward, so there were none in the Praetorium? You can retcon Al Ra, that's not a problem. I eventually made my way back to Werlyt, only to be drafted into the 7th Legion to continue working on the weapon project. Even now, it makes me sick to my stomach to think it helped bring those abominations into the world. Using a living pilot to feed the weapon's core was part of the design from the very beginning. Of course, they never dream of subjecting a trueborn Garlean to such barbaric treatment. Not when the 7th Legion has a ready supply of provincial conscripts ripe for the taking. You know, I took Latin for like 3 years. I should be able to read Roman numerals and sound out Latin on the fly, but no. The pilots were referred to only by their code names, and we engineers were not made privy to their true identities. Even with this list of conscripts, I still don't know who was sacrificed in the name of the weapon project. Their skills and knowledge can finally be put to good use, or let's bring an end to the weapon project together. Finally. But what can I do? For years, all I've known is how to build tools of destruction. That's familiar. The 7th Legion is far from finished. They're biding their time, waiting until the right moment to unleash the final weapon. And when they do, it will bring naught but death and woe to all who stand in their way. Even after everything they've taken from us, they still want more. If it weren't for the Empire, Melisandre would still be here. She was the kindest person I ever met, but to the Empire, she was just another pawn in their games. I will never forget her. There's a way I can make a difference. I know there is. But first, I need to speak with members of the Ironworks. I have a feeling that Werlyt and I used to beat the Sapphire weapon will be called into action again. Until then, there's still time to make improvements, and I intend to help. Oh, she's gonna make that stupid thing even harder to drive, isn't she? Or maybe if she makes it so that I can move the buttons and not I'll still be going ahead with the plan to build a monument, but stopping the Empire must come first. I hope Melisandre and the others can wait a little longer. Before I go, allow me to express my gratitude. I don't know what I'd have done if it weren't for you. Until we meet again. I didn't do anything, lady. I just talked to the Ironworks guy and got to the list. It's all you, girlie. And all the way back to Porta Praetoria. They're just really taking advantage of the fact that I can teleport. That was a nice little coda. Especially on an Ala Mhigan. I had no qualms with that little coda. Except, okay, the rant about Livia inserted in the middle. So, how was your time in Turn? They sent me all the way across the world just to help one chick find a list. Okay. I see, fate has dealt her a cruel hand, but now she has a chance to make a fresh start. The same could be said of the whole of Turncliffe. And it seems the liberation of that one small town will become a pivotal moment in Werlyt's history. Perhaps it won't be too long before the rest of the region is free from the Empire. Naturally, we'd be honored to fight alongside the people of Werlyt. We won't rest until the Imperials are sent fleeing with their tails between their legs. Imperials don't have tails. Until that day arrives, we'll carry on doing our bit to support you and the others in ending the weapon project. I'll be sure to pass on any pertinent information. In the meantime, take care. Is it over? Is it over? It's over. Some information on weapon. What's the character? Okay. Yeah, it's over. All right. Yeah, these are just side quests that I never did because they're level 70 and you'll get XP for them. Alright, so that's that. I'm off, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Osterby Whines about Gaius. I feel like that was stupid, but it was better than the other installments, which isn't saying much. It didn't piss me off nearly as much. It's still stupid. Continuity errors, wonky construction. I did like that little coda quest of the Aurora girl. A good way to tie it in. Like, I guess that's what takes me off about Werlyt is it has good parts that it then busts. Because, like, she worked under Nero and was at the Praetorium, and so she like ties it all together. But then, how can they keep harking back to Praetorium with gold spray paint and everything, and just not actually remember what Gaius says? And what's this nonsense about Gaius trying to hold Livia at arm's length? That's complete nonsense. They made that up. They invented it. Alright, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream, and I'm gonna go figure out Extreme. Actually, I'm gonna unlock this in my other character and just figure out Extreme. Thank you for tuning in to the shenanigans.